It's the beginner locksmith, and today I'm talking about essential transponder chips I carry as a beginner locksmith. Let's get to it, guys. So the first chip I'm talking about is a 4D60 chip. Right, so let's read the chip. This chip has been converted in various ways, coded in different ways. I've used it for Chryslers. I used it for a 4D. I converted it to I think 4D64, and the Chrysler became the key I needed. I put in one of these because I don't have the proper key. And boom, done. I've used this for a Super OG chip. I put it into an X-Force remote. Done. And these are OEM. I got them from American Key Supply. You know, you can code them in all kinds of different ways, generate them, whatever you want to say. This is definitely one I would definitely have. You know, have a couple of these on hand. But honestly, carrying a real transponder key is generally best. But in a pinch, these can help you. The next chip we're talking about is a 46 chip. You can use these for Nissans. You can use them for Chevys. I've used them for Chevys. Again, in a pinch, I put in one of these. Made a Circle Plus chip out of them. These are OEM from American Key Supply. You know, they're the original super chip. So if you know how to code them into different ways, you can make it for numerous keyways. So next on my list is 4D63-bit chip. They're mostly for Ford and Mazdas. OEM from American Key Supply again. I usually use the transponder keys. The reason I have these is I put them in X-Force or Key DIY remotes. I myself, but you know, they're just a great one to have on hand just in case. You never know. They are fairly pricey, and they're probably the same price as a key, so a transponder key. But I still find it worth it to carry just in case, you know. Also, the super chips I find don't work super well, at least for me. You know, they might work for you, but the ones that half the time they haven't worked for me too well on Fords. And it's just good to have just a good old transponder chip. And I've had these in the pinch just in case, you know. And you can convert them to 83-bit depending on what 40 you need. Anyway, moving on. Some more OEM chips from American Key Supply. I imagine you can get this blank one and just code them to each of these. Anyway, I just got one of each just for whatever, just because I could. I don't know when I'll need these. I imagine I'd need it for an all keys lost job, but I've only cloned them using X-Force and Key DIY. But anyway, I'd rather have them than not need them, and than need them and not have them. Moving on. Now, I want to talk about super chips. Or X27 chips. There we go. X27. It'll always say 46. I do like the X-Force super chips. They're good for cloning. Generating, I've done it for Toyota in there. I don't necessarily recommend it. You'll hear different people will say different things, you know. I just stick to cloning OEM chips to the super chips and then programming them if it's an all keys lost job or whatever. But generally, yeah, I just use them to fill in the gaps, you know, like backups. I don't totally rely on them. I don't think you should either. But they've been great for Asian vehicles. Here's a super chip that didn't go right in. I was trying to, all keys lost on a Chrysler. I was trying to program it. It just wouldn't take it for whatever reason. You know, that happens sometimes. So I used my super chip, and I mean, it didn't work. You know, so I just had to move on to. Luckily I had the OEM chips on hand, and I generated a Key DIY key, and they both worked. So yeah, moving on. Now for the Key DIY chips. I've been using the Key DIY system more and more lately, and I've actually kind of liked it. In some instances, I like it more than X-Force stuff. But the first one I'm going to talk about, oh, I should just put that or whatever, is the key DIY ID48 chips. You know, compared to the X4 Super Chip, obviously the X4 Super Chip has more flexibility, but it went right in. I didn't have to sniff the ignition. It just went straight in. I didn't have to dance around with the Key Tool Max Pro and their key and all that. I just cloned it and with a key DIY, and boom, job done. I didn't have to do anything else other than just insert the chip into the key DIY remote. And for this VW I did, a Jetta, I think it was 09. I don't remember exactly. You know, I highly I mean, if you don't have to get the key DIY system, but you know, I have it, so I'm using it and I like it. Next, I want to talk about the key DIY 4D chips, 4DC chips. I forgot what they're called, but yeah, they're meant for 4Ds and 4Cs. And you can generate them to 4D and 4D chips. So yeah, they'll read as Mazda keys, but no, yeah, I used them. I generated to a Chrysler chip, and it went right in. I cloned Fords with them. You know, the key DIY chips, these 4D chips, man, they're amazing. The problem I go to for Fords, yeah, I don't know how I got along with them without them before, but I'm using them now. And yeah, like I said, also for that all keys lost I told you about earlier, even though the X4 chip didn't work in this instance, I generated it to the Chrysler car and it did go right in. So there's that. You know, even though it's less flexible, what it does do, it does stronger in my opinion, you know. But yeah, I mean, just take everything I say with a grain of salt, you know. I know what I'm gonna do, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys.